Okay, welcome to Lesson 1 of Greek Ollendorff. Now this is going to move from the very beginning all the way through to a good solid mastery of Biblical Greek. Let's get started with paragraph 1. Nouns, adjectives, pronouns, and participles in Greek have three genders: the masculine, feminine, and neuter. Three numbers: the singular, dual, which just means two, and plural. And five cases: the nominative, genitive, dative, accusative, and vocative. Now that is a very dense paragraph, and so we're just going to talk about that for a minute. Now the first thing to understand when we read this paragraph is that we are talking about four different kinds of words: nouns, adjectives, pronouns, and participles. A noun is a word that works like a name: dog, happiness, chair, house. Those are nouns. Adjectives are words that go with nouns or modify nouns to change what they refer to. So an adjective is a word like big, little, wise, happy, and there you go. A pronoun is a word that takes the place of a noun: he, she, they, I, and some ones you might not think about are who, whom, whose, whoever, and other words like that. A participle is an ing or an ed word working like an adjective. So it's part verb, part adjective. So the running man, running would be a participle. So we're talking about four kinds of words: nouns, adjectives, pronouns, and participles. Now, if you don't fully get those things, that's okay. You just have to remember these four things, and you can remember it as nappy, nap-pee, nouns, adjectives, pronouns, and participles. They share three characteristics in Greek. One is gender, it's in italics. Two is number. And the third thing is case. So what that means is that every noun in Greek is going to be either masculine, feminine, or neuter. There's no other option. We have that in English. But what we don't have is adjectives having gender. There's no difference if we say the big boy or the big girl. Big is just big. But in Greek, there is a difference. There is girl big and boy big and table big. So there's different kinds of big depending on what it goes with. Pronouns, we have gender in English. We have he is masculine, she is feminine, and it is neuter. And participles, since they're kind of like adjectives, it's the same way. A participle will be masculine if it goes with some masculine noun, feminine if it goes with a feminine noun, and neuter if it goes with a neuter noun. So nouns, adjectives, pronouns, and participles have gender. Three choices. The other thing that NAPP has is number. Each one of these four kinds of words will have an ending to tell you if it means one of them, two of them, or more than two. We don't have dual in English. We just have singular, like in dog or child. And we have plural, like dogs and children. But we don't have something that just means two. Okay, gender, number, and then the last thing that these four kinds of words have is something called case. So if gender tells you what sex, and number tells you how many, Then case tells you what job the word is doing in a sentence. We don't have very much of this in English. We have a little bit. If someone is doing something, and we see it in the pronouns, then we don't say him comes home. We say he comes home, and we use he because he is the one who comes. But if you say I like him, then him is the one that you like, so you don't say I like he. You say I like him. And if something is owned, then you say that's his hat or her hat. So we have a few different jobs for pronouns, but in Greek there are 5 jobs, and they each have an ending to help you know which one it is. These are their fancy names. Nominative, which just means it's working like the subject of a sentence. Genitive, which means it's possessive, so we would add the little word of. Dative, which means it's for or to someone or something, so we would add the word to. Accusative, which means it's the direct object. And vocative, which would be being spoken to. Okay, that's the end of that first little paragraph. You can see it's pretty thick. What you need to know is which 4 words are we talking about? Or which 4 kinds of words, excuse me. Then, if I say, what are the 3 properties of nouns, adjectives, pronouns, and participles that they share? Or what are the 3 properties that nouns, adjectives, pronouns, and participles share? Then you should be able to say case, number, and gender. Then if I said, oh, okay, well, what are the 5 cases? You could tell me their names and their English equivalent. And if I said, what are the 3 numbers? You'd be able to tell me singular, dual, and plural. And then if I said, what are the 3 genders? You'd be able to say masculine, feminine, and neuter. And then you'd want to be able to give an English example for each one of these categories: gender, number, and case. All right, happy studying!